Alrighty, so this video is about the topic of frustration. So, I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. I wanted to talk about how you're meant to use frustration to fuel success, okay? See, today, and the reason I finally figured out how to do it was because today I had a horribly frustrating day. So bad. It's just so awful. Because the other day, like yesterday, my computer was just like, bleh. So I had to get a new computer, right? So of course today is the first day where I've actually got the new computer, and I have to I go to do some work, and it's like I need to do some like finances kind of stuff, right? And I needed to, of course, use Excel. I could have maybe used Google Docs, but I was kind of mad on Google Docs because it kind of sucks. So I wanted to use Excel. I went to use Excel, and of course I didn't have Excel on, right? So no Excel. So I had to download Excel. Now I thought about getting the illegal version because it's pretty quick. Never seem to have any hassles with that, and whatever. But I just was like, oh, I'll just check out how much the free version is. And I saw it's only 90 Australian dollars for a whole year. So I was like, yeah, that's a pretty sweet deal. I'll just go for that. And I was like, yeah, because it'll be super convenient, right? No, that's what I really want right now, like convenience. So I go to I buy it, and I go to download it, and the 3.8 megabyte install file is going really slow. Then it gets to 3.6 megabytes, and it completely stops, right? It just stops, and I'm like, that's when the frustration kicked in. I was like, no. So I did it again, right? Tried to get it again. 3 megabytes, stops. Use a different browser, stops. So I'm like, god damn it. I search, on the internet for a different way to download the file. Can't find it. So I call up Microsoft, and of course the dude's like, maybe it's your internet connection. I'm like, no dude, it's not my internet connection. I tested it. It's like, these things really depend on your internet speed. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm like, look, I'll try my 4G internet instead. Nope, didn't work, okay? So, he's like, well, you can download the ISO. So I'm like, oh, fine, I'll download the goddamn ISO, 2.7 gigabytes. And of course I'm like worried, of course it's not gonna download properly because, big files like that, when you download them straight from a browser, are just prone to not work, right? So, God, it's so foggy. How do you get that? Defog. Right, so that gets to 700 megabytes and then it fails. So I'm just like, oh, kill me, god damn it. Oh god, I just want to get some goddamn work done. I can't even get Excel on the computer, right? So super frustrated, just crazy frustrated. So I download it with a different browser, Google Chrome instead of Firefox, and it works. So I get it, install it, gets going. But then I look at the time, and it's already 1:30, because I had a meeting around, I had a meeting in the morning that wasn't my core work, and what I really wanted to do all day was just get my core work done. I wanted to get my core work done, right? So it's 1:30 and I haven't got my core work done. And I know that the gym shuts at 6 on a Saturday, whoop-de-doo, okay? So that means I've got to, I've got just a couple of hours before I go to the gym, all right? So I get a tiny bit of work done. And then I'm like, okay, but I'll get home tonight and I'll smash this. I'll get my core work done. And then I'm like, oh no, god damn it, I got a Russian lesson right after the gym. Oh, and I got to go see Nana. Oh, and I got to talk to my junior copywriter and coach him. And oh crap, by that time it's going to be 8:30, and then what? I'm going to be super tired, and then I'll have to have dinner. Oh god damn it. And it's just endlessly frustrated, right? So now, if you're listening to that and you're kind of thinking, let me fucking tell you about frustration, good, okay? Good, absolutely good. That's where I want you to be. I want you to be having that kind of life where it's like, oh my freaking god, okay? Because that brings you to a point where you get to choose what you want to do to fix that, okay? Now, there's a book out there. It's called The End of Stress. It's a fucking tome. And it's how to end stress, frustration, stress, pick your word, right? Now, that book is a piece of shit, okay? And here's why. That book teaches you how to cope. That book teaches you how to experience the frustration, experience the horrible stress of life, and like manage it. Like manage your stress, be okay with your stress, like deal with frustration, right? It assumes that you're gonna have a life where there's lots of frustration, and here's how to fucking deal with it, right? Here's how to endure the suffering. So that, in my opinion, is the path of mediocrity. So, you know, I like to think that people watch my channel because, you know, I have already said no to mediocrity. Like I'm not cool with living a mediocre average life. I'm not okay with it. So I figure that most people who do choose to just live a mediocre life probably don't resonate with my channel heaps hard. And they're probably like, yeah, I want better as well, right? So here's the choice I want you to make. Instead of like figuring out how to deal with frustration and stuff like that, I want you to make the choice that I've already made. Like I'm in a time of frustration in my life right now because I'm like back at my parents' house and like I don't have everything set up nicely and that. But I have made a choice that like I don't want frustration in my life. Like when things are going good for me, like I have my focus assistant, a girl who I work with 3 hours a day, first thing in the morning, where I get core work done. And I have a housekeeper who like does all my cooking and stuff like that. So I don't have to do like those like itty gritty things, right? Because it's like, you know, you might think about that and be like, oh, but you know, you're meant to do that. Like that's the good life. You put up with it. And no, I'm like, no, fuck that. I want to have like an amazing life, a really good life that doesn't have that crap in it. So here, I want you to see this kind of like vision for yourself in your own future, right? Like a life where all you really do is contribute your greatest gift and do extremely fun, awesome activities. Like you either work doing your highest leverage activity and use your like core skill and the stuff that you kind of like enjoy doing and get in the flow with, or you are like having amazing fun. Like for me, that future that I see is like, you know, I'm like taking a holiday to the Caribbean and like relaxing on the beach, popping back in, doing a bit of like core work and that kind of stuff. Oh, go skiing, go bungee jumping, have fun, go on a date with a girl, blah, 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 blah. Go to some fancy restaurant, all that kind of stuff. Like you know, La Dolce Vita, right? La Dolce Vita, the sweet life. Like there's nothing wrong with desiring that. It's awesome. So feel frustration. And instead of thinking, how can I cope with this frustration? Instead, visualize a life where everything is just going smooth and everything works the way you want it to, and like frictionless and like very just like nice and enjoyable. And then be like, damn it, I gotta get that. Just like whenever you feel that frustration, let that be like, forward, right? One of the biggest things that drives me is frustration. Like there's pretty much three things. There's one, get girls. Two, like I have like body pain and stuff like that, so I want to be able to afford like lots of nice fancy, you know, physiotherapy and all fancy like exercise coaches and stuff like that. There's that. That's an away from pain. I've got girls, that's toward pleasure. And three is like just to not have frustration in my life and instead have like smooth fun and stuff like that, right? So I think that's like my mini frustration manifesto. It's like, instead of like doing the mainstream response to frustration where you like just like figure out how to cope with it, no, see a life in your future where the frustration is just not there. Even when you get to that point, there's still going to be frustration, but it will be diminished and less bad and less of it and less extreme, right? So there we go. Okay, now I got to go home, get in the garage door inside and have my Russian lesson. Fast. Okay, later.